All right, let's get to some cooking. I want to show you one of our favorite breakfast items. And this is a good way to get in some fruit. We're gonna do a oatmeal packet, an instant oatmeal packet. So I'm gonna angle this down. I like to make them in these little baggies. Usually when I make them, I make a lot, and we do a lot of different fruits. We like blueberry, strawberry, peach, apple cinnamon. I told you I had peach for this morning. It was cold and it just was so wonderful to sit down to a nice hot fruity bowl of hearty oatmeal. And I didn't even used to like oatmeal before Thrive. That's a true story. So I like to start with the regular rolled oats, which are, it's not the instant. I like the regular rolled oats. And then I like at least a half cup of fruit. You can do more, I'm sure, but I've always just done a half a cup, and that seems to be just perfect. So I showed you powders earlier. You can do powders in a blender or a food processor, but this is a really easy way too. Just smash them with the with the rolling pin, and I like it nice and powdery. So I'm gonna get that powdered. Isn't that pretty? Can you see that? Yum. So I'm gonna pour that into the oatmeal. These bags tend to get a little hammered, the ones that I do the rolling in, but I do reuse them until they get holes in to do more and more fruit. So we're gonna want some milk in our oatmeal. So I like to use the Thrive instant milk, which is so delicious and mixes up really easily as well. 2 tablespoons of that. And then we're gonna go with some brown sugar. I'm at the bottom of the barrel here. My husband likes 1 teaspoon and I like 2. So I'm going in with 2 there. And then you just put it in the bag, shake them up, squish them up, and they're ready to use. So I'm gonna cook this up for you. Let me just show you what it looks like close up there with our lighting. Need to grab a dish. Okay, you need to use a larger dish because it'll want to boil over if you don't. So to cook this up, you just put your packet in the dish and add a cup of water. And that's pretty close. I'm just gonna have that done ahead of time. And then mix it up. And let me just show you that before I put it in the microwave. We're gonna, look how gorgeous that is. You should see the blueberry. It's absolutely stunning. We're gonna put it in the microwave for 1.5 minutes, stir, and then another 1.5 minutes, and it'll be ready to eat. Now, when I point out the color, all of that is natural. There is nothing preservative in there, or artificial, sorry. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and show you one of our to-goes. We have these single serve ready-made meals that are so popular. Everybody loves these so much. I'm gonna go ahead and make up the chicken fajita one. This will show off our grilled chicken and our green and red peppers and onions, and oh, it's so good. So to make the to-goes, you simply open the pack and take out the oxygen absorber. And then I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of hot water. You can use any temperature to reconstitute, to refresh these. So it doesn't matter where you are, but obviously here at home I'm gonna use the hot because I like warm fajitas, and it'll be a little bit faster. So you shake it up, squish out the corners a little bit, make sure it's nice and mixed, and then just let it sit for a couple of minutes, which is what we'll do. And there are 2 other varieties right now. They are working on more, so they're gonna give us more because everyone's clamoring for them because they love them so much. So we have the chicken salad, and then there's also island style pork, which has pork and pineapple and good stuff. There's our oatmeal. Let's stir that. Okay, so we just need to give it another little stir. Wish you could smell that. Another minute and a half and we'll be done. So they are so handy, and if you like, this is my favorite to take on a plane. I travel quite a bit, happily, and chicken salad is the bomb. You just take it on the plane, you refresh it with your water bottle, because cool water is what you want with chicken salad anyway. And it comes with little mayo packets. They're separate on the side, and so that you can just put them in there, and you can have it with crackers or bread. Last time, a couple weeks ago, when I went, I just took my homemade whole wheat bread and took the slices. They got through security just fine, and then had this on. You can have it on whole wheat bread, so or anything that you want. So these are the to-goes, and you're gonna love them. So one story I'll tell while we're waiting for the oatmeal to finish. I should tell you about baby food. Baby food is another huge benefit of Thrive Foods. It's really popular. Some people have tastings just for baby food alone. And so you can take any of the products, the sweet potatoes, butternut squash, all of the vegetables, all of the fruits. You can do our chicken that has no seasoning. You can do all of those things and create your own powdered baby food, and then you take it with you wherever you want to go. It's not perishable, so you just take it in powder form, and then when you're ready to use it, you add the water, and you have the freshest, best baby food possible. Even those little pouches that you buy at the store, those have been heat treated. So anything that's been preserved like that is not as good. You actually lose 40 to 50% of the nutrients in that baby food that's been heat processed to preserve it. And so the fresh baby food with Thrive is so much better for your baby, and they love it. And at the tastings that we do, we will actually eat the baby food ourselves, which I would never do with the other stuff, but it tastes so good. Okay, our oatmeal is done. Oops. Let me show you what that looks like. You can see the steam coming off. It darkens a little when it cooks, and I love that because that's what real strawberries do. And oh my gosh, this is the bomb. Now this is a pretty big serving. You may want to half the recipe for a smaller appetite. And this is pretty hot, but I do want to just pretend that you can taste it with me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so good and so fresh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so delicious. Now I think that this is done. I'm gonna grab another dish so I can pour it out and show it to you. I guess I'll just do something not fancy. Okay, but you'll be able to see it. So our fajita is done. I'm gonna pour that out so you can see it. Take a look at that, the peppers, the chicken. I'm gonna grab a fork. You should smell this. So look at that big old piece of chicken. And there's a pepper on there. Okay, I'm just gonna get a fork full of a little bit of all the goodness. We got the red pepper, the green pepper, some onion, some chicken. It's perfect. The chicken is tender. You can have this with tortillas. You can take those little street taco things. You can have it with chips, or you can just eat it right out of the bag, which is a very common thing that I like to do. So absolutely fantastic. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll show you one more cooking segment. We'll make a little bit of dinner and we'll be done.